Welcome everyone to the new video on Sasso's Docs. Today, we're talking about a crime that shook the entire world, the 9/11 attacks. I'll explain in detail how Osama bin Laden brought down both towers of the 110-story Twin Towers. It happened on September 11, 2001. That day, one of the most powerful countries in the world, the United States, faced the deadliest attack in its history. Just 19 al-Qaeda terrorists, led by Osama bin Laden, were behind this attack. More than 3,000 people died, and over 6,000 were injured. On September 11th, two planes hit the massive Twin Towers in New York. But surprisingly, there was a building right next to the Twin Towers called WTC-7, and it also collapsed that day, even though no plane hit it. Because of this, many people still wonder if these buildings really just fell because of the plane crashes, or if there was some other plan behind it. Let's find out what actually happened. It was the morning of September 11th, 2001. Exactly at 7:59 a.m., an American Airlines flight took off from Logan Airport in Boston heading to Los Angeles. There were 11 crew members and 81 regular passengers on board. But nobody knew that 5 of those passengers were actually terrorists. They had planned to hijack the plane, which is why they got on. Back then, airport security wasn't as strict as it is now, so they were able to sneak in with small knives and other necessary items. Once on the plane, they threatened the passengers, took control, and seized the cockpit. They took control into their own hands. Later investigations revealed that they used tear gas, pepper spray, and knives to scare everyone and carry out their plan. One of the hijackers was named Mohammed Atta. He came from Egypt. Mohammed Atta, 33 years old, was a pilot. Instead of flying the plane from Boston to Los Angeles, he took it toward New York. That's where the world-famous World Trade Center's Twin Towers, the North Tower and the South Tower, were located. These two buildings were once the tallest in the world. The Twin Towers of the World Trade Center had big offices, businesses, restaurants, a shopping mall, and an observation deck that people loved to visit. Every day, thousands of people passed through there. Then exactly at 8:46, Mohammed Atta flew the plane into the North Tower between the 93rd and 99th floors. There was an immediate explosion and thick black smoke spread everywhere. That day, the attack was visible clearly, even from about 15 kilometers away. At first, regular people thought maybe the pilot had a heart attack or something went wrong, and it was just an accident. No, not at all. Right away, the ambulance and fire trucks showed up. The whole place was filled with people screaming and crying. The fire service immediately started rescue operations at the North Tower. But then, just 17 minutes later, United Airlines Flight 175 crashed into the South Tower of the same Twin Towers. Both planes hit in the same way. So there was no doubt left. America was under a terrorist attack. There were 65 people on the plane that hit the South Tower. There were 51 passengers, 9 crew members, and the remaining 5 were hijackers. The terrorists took control of the second plane by threatening the passengers and crew. Then they crashed it into the South Tower, hitting between the 75th and 85th floors. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, between 8:46 and 9:03 a.m., 2 planes hit the Twin Towers one after the other. Right away, the American intelligence agencies realized that the country was facing a huge threat. That very day, the skies over America were on high alert. All flights in the air were ordered to shut down. Nearby airports were instructed to prepare for emergency landings. Soon after, news came in that 2 more planes had been hijacked mid-air. These were American Airlines Flight 77 and United Airlines Flight 93. Before the airports in the U.S. could do anything, another plane crashed into one side of the Pentagon. The Pentagon is the main building for American intelligence and military operations. You can imagine how important the Pentagon is to the U.S. On the other hand, there was no response coming from United Airlines Flight 93. On that plane, there were 7 crew members, 33 passengers, and 4 hijackers. The hijackers took control of the plane by threatening everyone on board. They then turned the plane toward Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. It's believed they were aiming for either the U.S. Parliament or the President's residence, the White House. But thanks to the bravery of the passengers on that flight, none of that happened. The passengers realized their plane was going to be crashed. So the passengers didn't panic and started fighting back against the hijackers. Then, at 10:03 in the morning, the plane crashed into an empty field in Pennsylvania. Everyone on board died. The two twin tower buildings that the planes hit were burning constantly. You could see the smoke from those fires from almost 15 kilometers away. The fire service split into several teams and went up the buildings, aiming to rescue the people trapped inside. While the rescue operations were underway in these buildings, the television was broadcasting live when suddenly at 9:59 the South Tower collapsed and came crashing down. This massive 110-story building fell in just 11 seconds, completely flattened to the ground. It was hard to believe what you were seeing with your own eyes. Just 29 minutes later, at 10:28, the North Tower also collapsed in the same way, falling in only 13 seconds. Then by around 5:30 that afternoon, the WTC-7 building also collapsed on its own. That day, nearly 3,000 people lost their lives. The whole of New York was shaken. The city was engulfed in smoke and dust from bricks and rubble. Thousands of people got sick just from the dust caused by the collapse of these three buildings. On top of that, none of the fire service workers who went in for rescue made it back alive. That day, the North Tower was the first to completely collapse, but the hijackers attacked the South Tower first. So why did the North Tower collapse before the South Tower? Let me briefly explain this to you. Also, experts believe that the building probably wouldn't have collapsed like that just from the attack. Even the attackers didn't know. The first plane hit the North Tower between the 93rd and 99th floors. Because there was so much fuel on board, a fire broke out immediately. That fire caused all the steel structures inside the building to heat up. Due to the extreme heat and pressure, the main steel supports inside the building started to bend. Eventually, unable to handle the stress, the buildings collapsed. Now the question is, if the plane hit the South Tower first, why did it collapse later? First, the plane hit much higher up in the North Tower. The impact hit the North Tower between the 93rd and 99th floors. On the other hand, the South Tower was struck about 14 floors lower. Because of this, the weight of the building above the damaged area was much heavier. That's why the damaged floors couldn't support the pressure from all the floors above them. As a result, one floor after another started collapsing under the weight from above. Within a few seconds, the entire building came crashing down. That's why, even though the plane hit the South Tower, it collapsed first. Next, we have the WTC-7 building being hit by a plane. Let me explain why it collapsed even without being hit by a plane. The WTC-7 building was right next to the Twin Towers. After the planes hit the Twin Towers, a WTC-7 also caught fire. Plus, its basement wasn't as strong. When the Twin Towers fell, WTC-7 got damaged in several spots. On top of that, the fire inside the building kept burning non-stop from morning until about 5:30 in the evening. Because of all this, even without a plane hitting it, WTC-7 ended up collapsing that day. One of the masterminds behind this attack was Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Later, after the 9/11 incident, he was arrested in Pakistan in 2003. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is still in an American prison. The main mastermind behind these events was Osama bin Laden. Who was Osama bin Laden? We will find out later about his relationship with America and what his enmity was. Listen to the next story. In 1998, Al-Qaeda started its terrorist activities with bomb attacks on American embassies in Africa. Then came the biggest blow on September 11th, 2001. On that day, under Osama's leadership, Al-Qaeda attacked the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York, the Pentagon, and a site in Pennsylvania. This attack shook America to its core and the entire. It changed the whole idea of terrorism worldwide. For nearly 10 years, America was frantically searching for Osama bin Laden all over the globe. Then, on May 2nd, 2011, a special unit of the U.S. Navy SEALs raided a secret compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. They managed to kill Osama bin Laden, who had been hiding there for a long time. This operation was the result of years of intelligence work. with the CIA gathering information about Osama's whereabouts for many years. Here's how America's intelligence agency finally took down someone as dangerous as Osama bin Laden. I'll share another video soon that goes into detail about how they found the terrorist and carried out the operation. The U.S. mission was a secret operation that caught the attention of the whole world. That's all for today's story. I hope you liked the video. To learn about more true crime stories from around the world, check out other videos on our Sosso's Docs channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay well and take care. See you in the next video.